food sciences. There's biomedical sciences. You can do cancer research, genetics, nutrition, food safety, food processing, plant management, food product development, international trade, and ag communities. So those are some of the types of things you can do with food science.
I will say there are a lot of people that, you guys like animals for the most part, I'm assuming. You're in this class, you enjoy working with animals. But we look at statistically those people, how many were thinking about maybe going for vet at some point? Couple? Okay, statistically half of you won't make it to graduation with an animal sciences degree. You're either going to transfer out, realize the program's too hard, something like that. Then you apply to vet school, and about half of those get into vet school. So you need to look at other branches where you can go. A lot of people who are interested in the animal sciences, food science is a great partner with the animal sciences. So don't rule this out just because you're like, I like animals. Where does our food come from? A lot of cases it comes from animals, and there are a lot of research positions and a lot of similarities between these two fields. So keep your minds open, but this is a great field, and she'll tell you a little bit more about some of the career options in this branch.
Yeah. So, part of that is food safety. We were just talking about canning. Some of that has to do with, safety during canning. There's also larger products that you would have to consider, like meat. Meat sciences falls under this if you're interested in beef cattle or in meat production. That goes under this category as well. And, you can be involved in both sides of things. So that's some of that. We can go on to some more of this. So food science in particular applies chemistry and microbiology in a real-world application. So it could have to do with E. coli. It could have to do with, developing new food products. It could have to do with working with companies like Kellogg's or Hershey's Foods. Sometimes, I don't know if you guys remember purple ketchup or different colored ketchup.
Oh, the green ketchup. What? Yeah, there's green ketchup. It's the Grinch.
Yep. That kind of stuff comes out of here. Flavoring for chips, flavoring for ice creams. All of those things come out of food science. So the way that we interact with our customers, the way that we design things, that kind of comes from here. There's also immunology and infectious disease. So you'll learn about how the body deals with infection and disease, and it's a great preparation for people who are interested in going to the medical field.
So guys, remember how we read about chickens and the poultry industry, how they make vaccines from eggs? It ties in with the animal sciences there, but it also ties in with the medical field as well. So this would be a food science major or something in this branch in their ag college. You could go into that. You could create the next flu vaccine or, bird flu vaccine or swine flu vaccine or something like that.
Alright. And then we have toxicology. And you use the technologies of molecular research and DNA extraction and sequencing. And you also can do research to study cancer and poisons and treatments and things like that. A lot of our medicines come out of things of the environment. We develop plants and we extract things from those plants and we use them in these types of things. So that's why it's in the college bag. So let's talk about agribusiness management. So these are for the people that are not interested maybe in the particular hands-on but want to do the managing portion. And the design. So these are people, 1 in 6 of every job in the U.S. relates to agribusiness management. This could be a person running a feed store. This could be a person who runs a cattle operation. This could be somebody who helps people with their operations. You don't necessarily have to do your own. You can consult. So you would be preparing for a career in the business industry. So you would be taking classes in the business college and in the College of Ag. And you'd be studying business management, consumer science, and economic principles. And it's great preparation for graduate school and for law school. So we do have a lot of people that come from here and go into ag law, dealing with things like the Farm Bill or environmental regulations on farmers. Or, in reverse, that are farmers that are working with the government to come up with different types of regulations for solving problems that way.
And you think it doesn't matter, like some of the law things, I just want to work with animals. In Lancaster County, they wanted to tax farmers on the number of cows that they had because cows produce a gas called methane. They were going to tax farmers a certain amount of dollars per cow that they owned, and it was because of people who had majors like this that they were able to protect the farmers. So, I mean, how much do you want to pay even as a consumer for a gallon of milk or a pound of beef? If we don't have people that are trained well in these fields, it's going to be people who don't understand agriculture who are making the decisions for us. So again, a lot of career opportunities you probably didn't even think about before.
And we have people, I mean, along that line, there's something called a nutrient management plan, and that's kind of what you're referring to as well, I think, is like, you know, with the amount of output that sometimes the cattle operations have, they do have to kind of write down how they're going to manage those things, and it's a requirement of them. So as an agribusiness management major, you could be the person who helps them write those plans so that they can continue their operation. So we also have community, environment, and development, and that falls under the same categories. So that kind of goes with what we were talking about, but it helps to create positive and sustainable change and, you know, bring about good things. So we're going to get on to education, teaching agriculture, environmental, or general science. This is a teacher like yours, or it could be a cooperative extension agent. You do training and development, youth development like 4-H. You could also work with the USDA or other government agencies. Be involved in production agriculture or the private agricultural industry. So, in ag and extension education, you gain experience in the classroom through cooperative extension services. You would be developing lessons and program plans. So I don't know if any of you have attended anything like 4-H or, you know, FFA. There are things that you know, there are activities that you go through. There's somebody that has to design that. There's somebody that has to deliver that, and then there's somebody who has to evaluate it. So those are types of things that you can do in this field. You could do leadership, environmental science, or production. And in ag science, this is kind of a customizable major, and you can kind of put things together to fit what it is that you want to do.